How you doing? My name's Joey. I go by Rain a lot. At least online I do. I'm a super empath, and I'm taking on a covert narcissist. This is going to be the first video of round 1. This is where I decided I'm going to keep my covert narcissist in check. In the process of separating from this toxic relationship that I've been in with a friend. How do you call a covert narcissist a friend? I don't know. I guess it's because being a super empath, that's what you do. People prey on a good at heart, when actually it's takes more brave to trust somebody than it does not to trust somebody. I've ended up with a felony drug conviction because of this individual. Now I've got a misdemeanor for a assault due to this individual. Right now, my whole world, everything I've ever worked for, struggled to hold on to, because life hasn't been easy, is stored up underneath this narcissist house. It's a game for her. I challenge your game. I'm taking the upper hand and letting it be known that in the process of me trying to move my stuff, it's been difficult. Because every time I ended up with money, the curveball got thrown. Cost me, right now it's cost me a total of at least $30,000 in the last 2.5 years dealing with this person. When you get trapped in with a covert narcissist, it's hard as hell to get out. They say turn and run. Well, I've been trying to turn and run for a long time. Super empath, you already know I've done a lot. I've done a lot. A lot that I never got credit for, which is fine with me. I mean, it ain't about the credit for what I did do. But a covert narcissist, they don't have no empathy. They have no sympathy. They have no gratitude, gratefulness, appreciation. They show no love for nobody but themselves. It's always about themselves. And God forbid if you was to turn the tables, which is what I'm now doing. I think I'm going to probably be the first there ever was that's going to do this publicly. I've been told I've got a temporary order of protection. I can't be within 100 feet of this individual. There's animals involved that belong to me. That have really had to suffer because of the situation I was trapped in. I've been trapped. I'm going to keep this very simple. There's going to be a series of blogs that I'm going to YouTube here. As things tend to unfold at this point. I've got to go get animals. I've been refused to get my animals. I've been accused of abandoning my stuff. I've been accused of abandoning my animals, which is nowhere near the truth. I mean, there's messages, text messages, and phone calls going back and forth every day. More so text messages. If you know anything about a covert narcissist, they cannot speak to you in person. They don't like to face you in person. They don't know how to have a live conversation in person because it's hard for them to manipulate circumstances face to face. They're cowards. Very much a coward. I felt a burden lifted off of me this past week or so when I decided to post a first of live video. I can't help it if I'm making a selfie or not, and somebody wants to show their ass in the background. Everybody likes truth and reality stories. I mean, you know, there's the Osbournes. I mean, Ozzy. And Sharon and their family. I'm not doing a, excuse me. Probably should hide the name of this drink, but I'm taking the upper hand. I'm no longer falling prey. I'm not a victim. I've been preyed on. Yeah, it bothers me. There's 1,000 things going through my mind right now. Everything has to go in the plan of a covert narcissist. They have to have control of everybody and everything and what everybody does. And they think what they do is fine. They change the rules in the middle of the game. They start a game and then they change the rules. Oh, hold up. I did give you 4 days, but now you got 3. Within the next hour, you've got 2 days. Within the next 15 minutes, you got 10 minutes to get your shit moved. Do you know how many times I've heard that? You got 10 minutes to get your shit out of my house. This is my house. My house. My house. This is my house. Yeah, might be. I've been told I need to take responsibility for my own actions. Well, here you go. My responsibility to this is I trusted a narcissistic sociopath She got psychopath tendencies. That's how I ended up with a assault, I guess. I'm not sure if it's assault and battery. Whatever it is, it's a misdemeanor. I could make a joke about that. But instead of me falling in the prey of the law, at this point, with everything I own that's still got to be moved out from underneath this individual's house, that I've been blocked every which way. But the best way. The best way, if you want somebody out of your way, is to let them get their shit. Stay the hell out of their way and let them get the hell out of your life. I've not been able to do that very simple thing. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? But not when you got to play games with somebody who is trying to control you, because she knows, this individual knows, when I'm done and out of the way, the games are going to really begin. Yeah, the games are going to really begin. I show up. I've been told I got 2 days now to find a place to store my stuff. I'm homeless. I thought I was going to end up with a home of my own when I first moved in. It was a temporary setup. She needed to finish paying off her house. You asked her, she wasn't behind on her bills, but I threw out $700, to help her out. Money to help pay her mother back for a light bill that she wasn't able to pay. I didn't realize that it wasn't the lack of money, it was the lack of control over her social life. Every rule and plan that I had in place was disregarded to her need. I was sold to the devil when I was at a low point, and I still am. But I'm stepping up. I'm stepping up to the plate with nothing but the truth. I fought a drug addiction with methamphetamines for 23, 24, 25 years, on and off. My longest stretch was 10 years clean. And she's helped me relapse before. When I filed for disability, I kept in touch with no one except for her. I took her for granted as a single mother, struggling to raise a kid, when actually the last thing she done was raise a kid. Her mother did. And of course, as all mothers, they're going to defend their kids, except for a covert narcissist. They're going to use them. I've tried to help, because everybody has some sort of dysfunction, I guess. I don't want to say everybody's got a mental disorder, but everybody struggles with something, whether it be depression or anxiety, just something, an anger issue or frustration. Everybody's got something. And a lot of people have everybody has an addiction, whether it's to caffeine, nicotine, alcohol, street drugs, pain medications. Everybody's struggling with something. Right down to an eating disorder. You want to put a list out there, I can check more than a half a dozen of those. I love to eat. I like to stay thin too. I like to keep my energy. I like to be on top of my game. But I threw out there at the very beginning, before I decided to move in with her, please keep me away. I don't want to know nothing about no methamphetamine. I don't want to see nobody on methamphetamine. I don't want to hear it. I've got one chance after I got my disability to learn a trade, to learn how to live on a fixed income, work a little bit with a law firm that's going to help me straighten my credit out. So by the time she got her house paid off, I should be able to end up with buying a home of my own, whether it be, oh, my mind's gone blank for a second, rent to own, or first time buyer's plan. Having a home of my own is not an option for her. You know, they got a covert narcissist. They got to keep you down. They shove you down to below them, to make themselves feel above their game, superior, better in circumstances. Over the next couple of days, I've got to go get my stuff. I stepped to the plate. God has a weird way of working. Yeah, I'm sitting here telling you that I am an addict, recovering addict at the moment. I'm a little over 2 months. Free now, clean, feeling good about myself now. More in control. My friend set me up. The very first day, I was still struggling. I've struggled with some things that really go deeper than my heart. Really go deeper than my heart. I don't have the time to get into that. But I'm letting it be known now that when I go get my stuff, as it's happened before, that somehow or another, the whole time I lived there, nobody ever stole nothing out of the basement, none of my tools. The whole time I lived there. But just as soon as I get kicked out, thrown out, evicted by the court, evicted, with no money, $20 in my pocket, set me up for failure. The very first day I was introduced to my relapse. Very first day. And I was weak. Still am. I ain't gonna lie. But I'm not as weak as I was. I've had time to reflect and look back on it. And I'm more in charge now than probably I've been in anything in 6 years. More in charge. I'm taking charge of this as well. I'm tired of answering to a covert narcissist game. Sociopath, because they're yeah, covert narcissist, it does qualify to be a sociopath and psychopath. Sociopath is because you can't have the same friends, because the stories are not the same that they want to share with each friend, because they're playing all of their friends. Then Psychopath is when you're trying to wash dishes and they're wanting to start a fight. You're trying to shut down the argument by saying, just check. Just go and look and check. You'll see that I'm right. And you don't have that gripe. Just go check. But they don't want to check. They want to be right automatically. So then there turns into where they're all up in your face, trying to be right. Well, you know, you get too close, you get too close. So don't come getting in my space. And then I won't feel the need to back you up. It's that simple. Just stop in the very damn beginning and follow. See if you find a lie or not. But that wasn't going to happen. Narcissist has to be right. And when they want to argue, they want to argue. They want to argue. Oh, yeah. And they have to be right. They'll set the rules up for the game and then change them at the end when they lose. So they're right. But this time, I'm filing police reports. The first thing that I find missing in my stuff, I'm filing a police report. I've had to file a police report on my animals being taken, and somebody's there to pick up my animals, and they're telling them, no, you're not going to have his cats. I'm taking them to the pound, and you can catch me if you can. File a police report because nobody's going to do 70 mile an hour on a 30 chasing somebody's down to see what shelter they take my animals to. I just made some phone calls by recommendation of the police officer that filed the police report on the situation. And I found them in the next county where, she got her mother to sign stating that I abandoned my animals at her house like I lived there. Just stupid. Just stupid. And she's delirious. Because she's at a level of madness. She's unstable. She don't know how to control her anger. Incapable of being real. In a real situation with real people in a real room, a real conversation. They love to text, man. I've got to the point where I hate checking my text messages. I just don't do it anymore. One bad apple ruined it for everything else. But if I can't find the other 3 cats, because I found 4, I fix at 6. I have a hard time separating families. I have a mother and her litter. If I don't find the other 3 come within the next couple of days, because I'm not told I'm not to be over there. I can't go over there without the cops. Well, let me just call down here to the sheriff's department, see when they have an available police officer to go and sit and mind a narcissist. I'm the least of the problem. I'd love to get the hell out of the way. I'd love to get the hell out of the way. Take all my shit and just go. So to keep things in check, I've got a video of everything I have in that basement. And if I find a missing cat, There's probably going to be there's going to be a police report wrote up about it. And if there's something can be proven about it, then it's going to be proven about it. They've got a lot at stake right now. The last thing anybody needs on their end, just like me on my end, no more legal problems, but I can get through mine. My daughter, my money is on the daughter. I hope she rises up from the bottom of my heart. I have to sympathize because it must be a miserable life for a covert narcissist. Not to know what real love feels like, what true love feels like. How to love life, love people in it. How to love living a life without having to destroy somebody where you could sit and be like everybody else that in this life struggles at their own problems to get by. I spent a lot of time trying to understand. I spent a lot of time studying the situation and a mental disorder. I've been seeing psychiatrists since I was a kid, ever since puberty. Well, I mean, when you're gay and your parents don't really understand it, my mother took it well. She didn't blame herself for it. It's just one of those things that is what it is. The Lord works in mysterious ways. And I've always found the blessing in every bad thing that I've ever stepped foot in. You follow your heart and you do what's right. You take innocents that depend on somebody to take care of them, such as children that ain't old enough really to know right from wrong, how to act or how to behave. You just can't scream no and stop, quit. They're little people. You show them respect. You explain why we don't do things like that. Why we don't say things like that. You can just scream no and holler and stop, quit it, all you want, but it still doesn't explain why. What are they? Who, what, why, where, when? That's the basis that holds structure in the whole world with everybody and everything. Who, what, why, where. I mean, but screaming no doesn't explain nothing. When kids act out and have to get in trouble in order to get attention, and you always are having to holler at one because they're misbehaving. It's not because they're misbehaving. It's because they lack the proper attention. They lack reality with somebody, interacting, how to communicate with somebody. Society has gotten so disengaged from just because it's so damn impersonal with text messaging and voicemail. Video games. The kids don't even get out in the yard anymore. It's sad. It's sad. They grow up antisocial. But if I have any more issues, and I suspect I shouldn't, because I've got a lot built up on me. I'm sitting on so much stuff right now on my phone, audio, video, and so much aggravation and frustration. It's not anger. It's not hate. It's not resentment. I don't even want to know. I already know why. It's a mental disorder. But I'm keeping things in check. And I'm going to show you how a super empath takes over the world of a covert narcissist with sociopath, psychopath tendencies. You don't fly up in somebody's face unless you're a bit of a psychopath, I'm sorry. Instigate a physical confrontation. Sociopath who tends to control friendships and family for their own validation and fear. I don't have no fear with speaking with what I want to say. I'll say anything I want to say. Anytime I want to say it to whoever I want to. And I don't have to think twice about it because you know why? It's the truth. I don't have to think about what lie did I tell and when to shut my mouth. Because the truth, it continues every second of the day. Right now, me standing here in front of this phone is the truth. 2 seconds ago, it's the truth. I'm still standing here. I'm not somewhere else. It's the truth. I've got a lot on my mind. I don't want to disclose too much. There's a lot of people in this world that get caught up in situations they wish they could get out of and don't know how. And they're beat up and belittled. There was a situation that came up about a year ago where I ended up locking myself away in the house for about 3 days because I was so traumatized from a situation that was coerced, concocted, wasn't even true, that just left me in tears and shaking and scared, disturbed, upset. To the point where I was traumatized so much that it seemed like every bit of trauma I've ever been through in my life was just, it all just flashed before my eyes again. And it stayed like that for about 3 days. It's scary. It's not fun. I used to be a happy-go-lucky kind of person. You never see me without a smile. I don't know when was the last time I was actually happy and actually smiled about anything that was true to the moment. But I've always took everything that I've ever had to endure in life as a blessing. That God has a reason for it. And He puts people in places. And people are the way they are. But we all have a reason and a purpose. And you have to take that to a higher power. You have to believe in good. Because if you don't believe in good, there's going to be a lot of bad. You give bad a chance to get bad, bad can really get bad. And Covert Narcissist, they love to make it bad. They live in bad. There's something that's on the inside of them that they make everybody else carry the burden to. It's their responsibility to make them feel better. And you can't make somebody feel better if they don't want to make themselves feel better. Feel better about themselves. Not without destroying somebody. Taking their chances of having a better life and doing better for themselves. That was supposed to be in the situation for me. I turned to my friend to be mentored. I didn't need financial. Even though I gave financial help. I was there for financial help. For her, you know. She didn't need it though, to hear her talk now. Oh yeah. Story's always different for them people. But I'm taking control of this situation as we speak at this very moment. That if this person is going to have to take control of their own life and quit worrying about everybody else's, and if they want something better out of their own life, then they need to do better for themselves and not expect everybody else to do better for them. I can't help this person. Nobody can help a covert narcissist. Nobody can help an addict. That's something you have to do yourself. It's up to you if you want to quit. It's up to you if you want a better life. It's up to you if you want to be happy with your life. If you don't want nothing out of it, then leave everybody else the hell out of it. You want to destroy yourself, then destroy yourself. But leave everybody else out of it. It made it so hard for me because my reputation was tainted by this person. For me to find somebody that believed in me, that gave me the courage to believe in myself again. And that's some serious damage when you can't believe in yourself. I know for a fact that I'm worth something. I know I can do things. I can do anything I set my mind to, whether I've done it before or not. And I love it. I love to learn. And I like to be right. Therefore, in order to be right, you better have your shit right. You better know your shit. If you don't, then you're not going to be right. You're going to look like a fool. Knowledge is bliss. Knowledge is success. To be ignorant when you could have been smart. Playing stupid because you chose to be stupid is a fool. You're a fool. You look like a fool. When you chose not to do something. When you could have done something and you chose not to. That's another one of my sayings that I have a problem with. Looking at people, there's 1,000 reasons why you don't do something. Or shouldn't do something. Or don't want to do something. But you look for that one reason. The one reason to do something, and it could make a difference. And because you never took that one decision to do something, you never know what the consequences could have been for you or for somebody else. The best blessing is when you're called upon to be the blessing for someone else. And I've loved that. I love that. I do. I love that saying. It's scripture. The best blessing is when you're called upon to be the blessing for someone else. That's a feeling on the inside that, man, that's when you know that you'll never be forgotten for what you've done for somebody. You do something like that for somebody, they'll remember you all the way up until the last breath. And they'll always think good of you. I'm thankful for the bad luck that I've had in my life. It's really it's made it interesting, but I've looked for the blessing out of it. And I've tried to share my lessons as wisdom to anyone that would listen. I didn't have to share it. What I tell you now, you might not understand. But when the time comes and the situation arises, you're going to know and be like, wow. I remember somebody telling me something about this, and that's how they handled it. Maybe I can save somebody some grief, a struggle. Because, not everybody gets everything that's life's trial and error. Parents just do the best they can if they want to. A lot of parents out there that don't want to. You don't want to be a parent, then don't. Don't drag kids through it. Don't set them up for failure. If you're unhappy with your own life and you can't change it, then what do you think you're going to do to your kids? They're going to grow up hating life too. Miserable. I've lived and loved. And I try to hold on to that. I try to hold on to my accomplishments. And the best people that's ever been in my life. I can go back way back. But when you get tangled up with a covert narcissist that has thrown you underneath the bus, it's hard to convince everybody that you're still worth something. Death by association, guilty by association. You know what I'm saying? I'm in charge of my life. I'm responsible for myself and mine. And I'm going to recover. And as far as I'm concerned, like I said, this is the beginning on how a super empath takes control and wins the battle between a covert narcissist and their sociopath and psychopath tendencies. I welcome the challenge. And if they want to recover their own life, just like I'm stuck having to recover mine, oh yeah, I'm stuck recovering my own life. I'm way behind schedule where I should have been right now. I'm way behind schedule. I was ticked, but I found out recently what the Lord sent me to do. And I done it. You don't wish harm on nobody. You don't wish bad luck on anybody. You don't wish harder things for anybody. You don't wish misery upon nobody. And children, you have to be responsible for children. Because they're not old enough to be responsible for themselves. They don't know how to take care of themselves. They don't have the answers. You can't. It's a rite of passage to be a child. It's part of believing in Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, the Easter Bunny. Only in a child's eyes do they see good in people. It's only when you get older that you realize they ain't no damn good nobody. You can choose to be good. You can choose to be you. But if you're going to be bitter and bad, yeah, give the kids the right to be themselves. My age, I look back at my childhood, and it's had its ups and downs. I struggled perfectly. I come from a perfectly, we were a perfectly dysfunctional family. That's what we were. And it taught me how to understand a lot of things that a lot of people don't. how to accept other people and their behaviors and their thoughts and their opinions. I don't have to go along with everybody, but I can understand where everybody's coming from. And you don't have to be like me. I don't have to be like you. And us being different, well, I don't want to be like nobody else. I don't want nobody to be like me. I want to be me. I want to be the best me that I can possibly be. Today's the first day of the rest of my life. And it's not going to be the life that somebody else wants me to live. And the jail you plan for me is the one you're going to rot in. Compliments of the color purple. That's right. Be careful where you shit, because you might fall back in it too. I had a little whisper in my ear that reminded me of that when I was going through a challenging time with my covert friend. We're fixing to find out. But I'm not playing this game anymore. I guess I'm going to start saying like everybody else does. Hit that like button. Subscribe. Hit that bell. And share. Comment below. You can call me Rain. I'm the water barrier of the astrological sign Aquarius. I'm the water barrier. Rain coming, a nice peaceful spring shower, or the bottom can drop out of it and be a torrent. Natural disaster. Take your pick. I just seem to live my life like a nice, fresh spring shower. Raindrops on your face. Watch out for the hail, though. It can cause some damage. Till the next time, I wish you all well, and I bid you peace. Until I pass across again. Thanks.